Alright, ladies and gentlemen, so this is a quick video tutorial concerning how to import voices into your Motif ES rack. Alright, so I'm going to walk you step by step. First and foremost, the things that you're going to need to download is the Yamaha Studio Manager, and that's going to look like this. Alright, so this is what the Studio Manager looks like. Then on top of that, once you download the Studio Manager, you're going to want to download the MOTIF-Rack ES editor, voice editor. Another key component that you want to download is a USB Midi driver for your computer, right? What this allows is for you to be able to just plug in your USB. If you have a workstation that has MIDI USB compatibility, you can just plug up your workstation straight up to your computer, and you can do MIDI activity through the Motif ES rack just from your workstation. So it makes it simpler. It's actually kind of one of the key components that you're going to need for the Yamaha voice editor anyway. So let's go back. We said the Yamaha Studio Manager, that's the first thing. Then the MOTIF-Rack ES voice editor, that's the second thing. And then the third of all is to download a USB MIDI driver, which is also on the Yamaha website. Alright, so all of these things that I just listed are all on the Yamaha website. Alright, so now that we have those three things out of the way, let's go ahead. Let me tell you guys what I have connected right now. I have my Motif ES rack connected via USB towards my computer, and I also have my keyboard workstation connected via MIDI to USB towards my computer. Alright, and as you can see, I've already pulled up Yamaha Studio Manager. So what I'm going to do now is show you guys my setup. Alright, so I'm going to click on the File tab. I'm going to hit Setup, and it's going to show you the device editor and then the workspace. I typically go over to the MIDI settings. Once you already have like the drivers and stuff that I listed earlier installed onto your computer, it's going to show up here. Alright, I have the Yamaha UX16, which is my MIDI to USB. That's connected from my workstation into the into my computer. Alright, so I have that selected under the input ports, and then the Motif-Rack, all of those ports are already selected for the output ports. And then the MIDI through, I've selected the UX16, which is my MIDI to USB, and I've selected the Motif ES rack port 1, ES1. Really quick, before we move any further, it is imperative that you make sure on the actual module rack, the Yamaha Motif ES rack, that you go to Utilities and scroll through all of the pages until you get to that MIDI section. You go down, it should be like right under MIDI sync. That area right there, it should already be selected to MIDI. What you're going to do is select onto that and then dial over to where it says USB. What this allows is for your rack module to communicate to your computer, i.e. the voice editor, the Motif ES voice editor. So it is imperative that you make sure that that is done before you can even move any further from this previous step. All right. So as you can see, so I'm using a Roland Phantom keyboard, but I have my Motif-Rack, again, I have my Motif-Rack connected. Alright, so this is what you're hearing. So really what's happening is that the MIDI activity is being channeled through the Yamaha Studio Manager. Alright, these units, the Roland Phantom and the Yamaha Motif-Rack, are not directly connected to each other. It's through the computer. Alright, so this is why it's imperative to have those drivers installed. Alright, so I've showed you the setup. Now what I'm going to do is click on Voice. Alright, as you can see, it's going to bring me up a blank canvas of initiate voices. Right? Alright, now The question is, how do I import voices into the MOTIF-Rack? And it is as simple as pie. I have one of my voice banks already loaded onto this computer. So what I'm going to do is actually hit, where is open? So I'm going to hit open. All right. It's going to open up a file explorer. What I'm going to do is go down to documents, and I'm going to look for my voice banks, which is, let me see, it's not under here. It's this one right here. All right. So M.A.C.J 2023. I'm going to click on that. All right. So really quick, I had to look for the files right fast. So there is a difference in the format. All right. So in order for the rack, the MOTIF-Rack ES, to pick up or convert any sounds or to load any sounds, the file types must have this ending file format. All right. It must have W9E. All right. It must have W9E in order for the rack to read any of the files or to load any of the file voices onto its system. All right. There's two different formats. W9E is for the rack. W8V is for the actual MOTIF-ES synthesizer. Now there are many different voice types, there are many different format types, but for the sake of this video, we're just going to talk about loading up the voice types. All right. So what we're going to do, let's go here. We're only looking for W7E or W9E, which we have right here. So what we're going to do is load up MJ_2023.W7E. All right. We're going to load that up. And as you can see, it brought us the user bank from the sound bank. All right, I brought up my sound bank right here. So let me see if I can maximize this thing. All right, here we go. So as you can see, all of the sounds are here. As I scroll down, everything is going to show up. Everything is there. All right. Now, a good test would be to play through it, right, just to make sure that it's there. So piano. Let me see. As a matter of fact, let's do this because I also want you to see the common, right? All right, so here it is. This is the module. I'm not sure if you can see it. If you can see it, all right. So we're on the first piano preset. All right, so I'm gonna just skip through it. Let's do. All right. So and so on and so forth. Alright, so on and so forth. So everything is right there. It's all being translated into the rack. Now here's the thing. Now that you have loaded the sound bank into the voice editor, because we're still in the voice editor, the most important things that you need to know is that none of these sounds are automatically saved to the rack just from you loading it into the voice editor. What you have to do is do a what they would call a transmit voice bulk, and you'll find that in this fourth icon at the top right here that says transmit voice bulk. And what that does is ensure that all of the sounds are in the rack. Even when you cut it off and turn it back on, all of the sounds are going to still be in the rack. All right. So we're going to click on that, and then it's going to ask you from which user bank do you want to transmit the sound bank. Let's say user 1 because all of the sounds are in user 1. Then we're going to hit start. All right. So I already got the sound started in that, so I'm not going to do it. But that's how you would load in any user sounds into your MOTIF-Rack ES. I hope this was a helpful video. If it was, please leave a thumbs up, comment, subscribe, share to anybody who else may be having this same problem that they're trying to figure out. just refer them to this video. All right, you guys have an amazing day, and I'll see you next time.